now we start the racing part of this 2026 Dream to Drive Championship. The first group of the OVOKO qualifiers are in the qualifying session, which is definitely really short for a racetrack like Spa-Francorchamps. It basically means the drivers will have mostly 2 laps to complete their qualifying session, and I'm pretty sure everyone is on fire trying to set their best lap times. And this driver, Talianos, is first on the racetrack, not for a surprise. He was the fastest in the pre-qualifying round. That's why he received the first place in the pit lane. And he has the track for himself, a very important session. We will have 3 groups this evening of the OVOKO part. That means that the drivers all around Europe have gathered here. 72 drivers have gathered here, sitting in the comfort of their home, in front of their simulators, trying to have a very fierce battle, and it's gonna be really tight because only 24 drivers after tonight's 3 races will proceed to the semi-finals, and only 8 of them will move forward. No, actually only 3 of them will move forward to the finals. So points going to be calculated this afternoon. 24 drivers who will have the most points will advance further. That means that you can finish 8th in your group, but that does not guarantee you a position to advance to the semi-finals. So every position will matter in both races. 2 15-minute races after the qualifying session ends. Second race will have the top 8 drivers starting the race in a reversed order, and that's going to be really difficult. So the drivers will...
It's a lot of points for the win. It's 50 points for the win, and then it goes down to 30 for second place. So it's a big gap. The wins are rewarded here. In previous seasons, there were big surprises with drivers who won race 1 having a difficult time actually qualifying in because of issues in the second race. But now, with the bigger gap, it should give a bigger advantage to those who win, and that's what we want. We want the best drivers rewarded as well. Schoninger, he goes to second, as Lehu goes up to the provisional pole position for now. Very important. This is for now. 1 more lap to go, so they're getting 1 more attempt at this one, and everybody should cross the line in time. They will. So everybody gets their first lap done. It's 60 cars out on track here. So pretty much you're looking at top 8 anyway. I mean, that's really where we expect everyone to qualify. Again, as Luna said, it doesn't mean that you will if you're 8th, because it's everybody's points are being totaled up. So could be 8th not enough, but that's really where the real cutoff point is. The tiebreak is the result in the pre-qualifying. So if you do have a tie, the pre-qualifying will still be important. So it's not just finishing in that top 72. It's still being... Ooh, and that's wide from the current provisional pole sitter. He's got a car in front of him. And again, a little bit wide on the exit of No Name. That could be a slower lap, we'll see. But the gap at the front is quite close. Further down the field, the gap has opened up, but sometimes those first laps aren't really in the second. Even more in the group here. But this is the same track that the sessions.
Okay, looks like we have some sort of voice issues for Gustas Grimbergas. We couldn't catch up what he was saying, but we're about to finish the second running laps for the drivers, and Talianos takes the provisional pole position as he crosses the line. The driver who set the fastest lap time in the pre-qualifying session goes first Oh, for a short moment of time, Hooks overshoots the final bus stop quarter, so I don't think that's gonna be an improvement. So brilliant lap time by Italianos, set at the very time as it was needed. Cristinani has also finished, and I think most of the drivers are now going to an end of their flying laps. We have only 16 drivers in the first group, so 8 drivers kind of failed to participate in this. Oh, yep. Some of the drivers did not join the quarterfinals. That's a shame because, well, it's a shame for them that did not come, but it's not bad news for the drivers who have stayed, meaning that the first group have already overtaken 8 drivers. Anyone who finishes last is gonna be up ahead of the 8 missing drivers, as the qualifying session has come to an end, and I'm trying to get the results, the official results of the drivers. I see them on the World Sim Series platform. Italianos taking pole position, Lehoux finished second, Schoninger third, Nani fourth, Capet 5th. It's really tight gaps at the front as we prepare ourselves for the first race.
I hope my sound has gone back to normal.
It does look so. It does look. It does sound great. At least I am able to hear you. I think our results are also in. So for a short, brief moment of time, nope, I can see that they dropped again. So back to the racetrack where 20 seconds remain for the start of the first race. The first group of the OVOKO group in the Dream to Drive 2026 Championship are about to give it a go on the racetrack.
Here we go as the lights come on. It's the first group and the first quarterfinal race for them. And we're green at Spa, and the run down to turn 1, it looks like a decent enough start for Italianos to still lead them down into turn 1. And oh, a little bit of contact behind as Lehoux gets mobbed down there at turn 1, a little bit sideways as well. He's gone down to 6th and into the gravel, and he's still losing positions all the way, running down into Eau Rouge. He's going to be last by the time they hit Eau Rouge. Will he be last, or will he hold on to at least 15th? He holds on to 15th, but from 2nd to 15th, horror start for Lehoux as he tries climbing back up the field, but a lot of cars fanning out. Italiano still in the lead ahead of Schoninger and Kappen, then Parek, Senderski, Kobosnitz in 6th, 7th for Nani, and Haikanis in 8th. As they get into Lacombe for the first time in this quarter-final. Italiano still leads, and he was rapid in the pre-qualifying session, and he's showing his speed here once again, but Schoninger is still very, very close to him. He's closed up all the way up the straight. Parek, a little bit of damage to his rear, running in that purple car. The pink car ahead of Kobosnitz. Senderski side by side. Nani and Haikalis down the hill. They go into Pouan, or Duplik Gauche as they call it now. And they're still side by side. That's holding them up. But this is, well, obviously about that 8th position. Everybody's still thinking of it. And these two battling for it. So a little bit of extra contact between them as well as they run through the S's. And Nani stays ahead, at least for now. Now where's Lehoux? 13th. He'll try and mount his way forward. He was, well, super quick because he was 2nd and qualified. So has to get forward in the field, but a very, very unfortunate start from him. Went from 2nd down to 15th by the time they arrived at Eau Rouge. Off as they run into Blanchimont. Flat out in 5th, almost flat out in 5th, wide from Staten ahead as Lehoux to the outside. He'll try to get that move done. Still on the outside, turns to the inside, he's got one, he's going to get another one because he's got the exit here over Pozniakov as they go side by side across the line. Lehuk still on the outside, down into turn 1, and he'll still be on the outside, but I think he might just have the exit up to 11 if 2 positions gained in the span of 1 corner, essentially.
Oh yeah, that's a big shame. Lehuk didn't have a great start, but he's still here. He's still doing some nice racing on the Spa-Francorchamps circuit. 12 minutes on the clock. He might be aiming at P8 at least. To start the second race from pole position. That would be a nice way for him to try and gather a little bit more points in the final standings. You never know what happens in the other groups, so main point is to never give up no matter what happens after the racetrack, and Lehuk shows that he does have a lot of pace, but sometimes pace is not enough. You still have to make clean starts and clean racing to have a successful finish to this event. And look at the gaps. The drivers are so close to each other that any tiniest mistake can cost you not 1, not 2, but sometimes even more places. You place one wheel outside of the tarmac, you slow down on the exit, and that's why when you can hope for a lot of trouble from behind. Lehuk is not thinking about it. Look, he's already on the tail of Michel, while other drivers seem to kind of be on their pace, finding their rhythm. The gaps have stabilized. Lehuk, on the other hand, is definitely on the right foot.
Actually, something we missed, that Schoninger has gone into the lead.
Oh yeah, nice catch.
We didn't see that. I looked at the top of the standings. I was like, that's a nice gap at the front, but it's a different driver. Capet on the back of them as well, the Estonian. So it's a multinational front of the field at the moment. We've got a German, a Cypriot, and an Estonian. Your top 3 running right now as they go down into turn 1. So this front group is definitely quicker than the rest. They've pulled out a gap over Parek, who sits in 4th. And not a great exit from Taliano. Schoninger definitely quicker out of there. This might be an opportunity actually for Capet to get past. He's got a good run out of Radion. It looks like he does. He's got the slipstream now uphill. On the straight he goes, catching, but I don't think it's going to be enough into Lake Combe. And it isn't, so it stays behind, at least for now. Looks quicker than Taliano.
Well, it looks like Taliano has pace, but sometimes he makes those small mistakes which count on the exits, and that's maybe why he lost the lead to Schoninger, what we didn't catch. Lehuk's in the meantime still running P11, and it's gonna be a little bit harder for him to gain more places. I think his goal is to finish at least 8th, because if he'll finish lower than that, he'll have very few chances of having a successful race. Theoretically, you have you could finish both races in P8 or end up P8 in your group. But that would mean that you could still advance through the semi-finals. After this round, 24 drivers will advance to the next round. 3 groups in total this afternoon. There will be another group tomorrow, which is gonna take place from Topocentras in Lithuania. That will see mostly Lithuanians participating in the quarterfinals and semi-finals. I think we have a driver from Poland who made it through into the quarterfinals. As Michel, Pozan and Lehuk are in a battle for P9 in this group. Lehuk around the outside into the bus stop chicane, runs sideways slightly, brakes very late, but it looks like it was more than enough to make that move. Pozan is still on the inside into turn 1, so Lehuk will have to figure something out. There's gonna be an overtake at him. Nope, Lehuk brakes very late and covers off any overtake attempt. We have Poznakov overtaking Statin in the background. 13 drivers receive points in this championship, so Poznakov up into P12. Still a couple of points for grabs for the driver for this position. You want to try and get as many points, at least a couple of points in this race, to have your hopes alive into the next race.
Well, remember, if he goes up to 8th, that would be pole position for the next one. And seeing his pace, I wouldn't be surprised if he can, will quite easily then hold on to the lead, as everybody else will have to get through the field. Still, the question is overtaking Haikalis, who runs in 8th. He's been quicker, but I think this last 4 laps comparison might not work here, because obviously Lehouk has been having to get through traffic, having to get past other cars. So if, well, he's only got 2 more to overtake. Only 1.5 seconds to that elusive golden ticket of the 8th position and pole position for the next race. So don't count him out just yet. And even if he doesn't get there, I'm sure he'll try and have his best run through in the next race. Here's Capet, so he's on the back of Talianos, who's completely lost touch with Schoninger in the lead. So Capet has an opportunity to go into second. Doesn't have to risk it. That's the big point here. If he finishes third, he finishes second, doesn't make that much of a difference if he can have a clean second race here. He'd still be qualified for the semi-final. That's the important thing here. You have to get through to the semi-final. Sometimes you have to contain your ego. Don't go too hard, because you have to look forward, have to think of the next step. And that's part of this competition, to find the drivers who are also mentally the best, who can hold their nerves the best, who can pick their battles, the ones they need to have and the ones they don't need to have. And, Capet, I don't know if he's picking his battle here, because it doesn't look like he can get that close, but still driving a smart race. And actually Talianos caught up to Schoninger, who I think made a mistake at some point during the lap, but who's still not able to get past Michel into 9th. Second back. Should be 2 to go next time we go across the line. So Lou, if he wants to get forward and get into pole position for race 2, he's got to get a move on, but he's still behind Michel, who's actually catching up to Haikalis. So Michel also doing a good job in this race.
Yep, Haikalis knows that he's currently in the provisional pole position while running 8, but maybe that puts pressure on his shoulders. Constantly seeing the 2 drivers from behind getting closer and closer. I'm pretty sure he's looking at the time, trying to figure out how many laps are still on the table in this first opening race, and just trying to focus on his job. But, well, 2 drivers, Michel and Lehoux, both are definitely on a mission, trying to chase down the 8th spot here in this race. Lehoux did have a very good qualifying session. He didn't have the greatest start. I think we had 4 cars running into turn 1, with Lehoux being the car on the very outside of that corner. He went wide and lost quite a lot of speed running down the straight, approaching the Rouge corner. That's where he lost most of the places. Went down to P15, and he's now up to P10, trying to chase down P8. Talianos sets the fastest lap time of the race, 2:20.0, so just shows that he has not given up in this race. And yeah, the point system, it actually rewards the win quite high. You receive 50 points for first place, and you only get 30 points for the second one. So it's definitely worth to try and win at least one race. Then you have a lot of chances to be first in your group. Even if you fail slightly in the second race, you still have a great chance of collecting the needed amount, the necessary amount of points to advance to the second, to the semifinals. Lehooks runs wide a little bit, and are we on the last lap?
No,
Nope.
we'll have one more.
Yep.
One
So
more minute.
that's the penultimate lap of the first race. Michel is gaining on Haikalis, and currently at this very moment being, this is the hottest, the most important battle on the racetrack. So far, Sendersky is not too far behind from Parek, but the gap is half of a second for most of the race. We have a small battle between Statin, Ramach and Passardi. That's the battle for the final spot where points are handed out. Statin currently 13th. He would receive 1 point if he finishes in that position. Michel getting closer on Haikalis, and he'll have at least mostly one lap and these final corners to try and move forward.
Into the bus stop is definitely close enough. If he gets a good run through Blanchimont here, he's going to have a good run through here. Well, far away unless it's a huge dive bomb into this final chicane. That's not happening.
Oh, with a very late braking into the bus stop chicane, I think he'll lose out on the exit, but he is getting closer to this battle also, and that goes into the final lap, the battle for pole position for race 2, which is really important. There's a big difference. If you finish 9th, you will start the second race 9th, but if you'll finish 8th, you will start from pole position, and we know that in races like these, where the pace is very similar from all of the drivers, the faster drivers will start on the end of the top 10. They will have a lot of work to do, so the drivers who start from pole position usually have high chances of winning the second races.
But I mean, these drivers, they're quite close in terms of speed. It's not that huge of a difference, so it won't be that easy to get through the field. It's not as in most other races where you have a more spread out field. It's then quite easy for the leaders to get back through. You can see Lehou, who's qualified second, and he's struggling to get into 8th spot. So this clearly shows that it's not going to be easy for those leaders. Obviously, they had good points. They will have good points out of this race, so they'll be safe, and we'll just need to pick up some scraps to get into the semi-final. But for drivers like Lehouk, it's going to be much more difficult. Still a couple of corners, still a couple of opportunities for these guys at the front, at the back end of the top 10. But Schoninger, well, he's showed a great performance here in this first quarterfinal. He got into the lead, overtook into the lead, and has held on to it since. Talianos held on to second. Capet was close enough at one point to maybe think of making a desperate move, but it wasn't enough. But Schoninger coming through the final chicane. He's going to take race 1 here at Spa, the first winner of the Dream to Drive 2026 season. And Haikalis will take that golden ticket with him. It's pole position for race 2 for the driver in P8 Lehouk. Well, he had a good recovery, but it was stunted once he reached P10. And that's where he got stuck. So the results of this one, it's Schoninger, Talianos, Capet, Parek, Sendersky, Kobosnidze, Nani, Haikalis, Michel, Lehouk, Posan, Pozniakov, Statin, Passardi, Mifsud, and Ramach rounds out the field. So top 16 out of the 16 driver grid in quarterfinal 1. And we'll have race 2 coming up very shortly.
To the chase, everyone give me some space. Don't fall out, we fall into place. Every step walking with grace, amen. Keeping my foot off the brakes. Impact, I'm ready to brace. We fall down and land on our face, just to get up and finally escape. Wait, we treat them like worms in a lake. They bake, just give me a drum and a bass. I skate and grind till I'm numb in the face. Okay, don't fuck up my day. Don't talk about clutch, I got ice in my veins. I'm colder than Trey.
Welcome back to the quarterfinals. And we're getting ready to go. Once again, it's the OVOKO will take race wins, will be almost guaranteed to go through. It's time to go racing once again for another 15-minute quarterfinal. Spinner in the back and collects somebody, Passardi and Milsud, but down into turn 1, Heikelis still leads them. A little bit of more contact, and again it's for second position, wide for Schoninger, but he stays in P8, and that's the important thing for him here. Doesn't need to take too many risks. Talianos almost side by side with Capet, but backs out of it. It's more about the battle in front, as Schoninger is going to try and move up now. He's got Talianos in front of him, who's got Capet, then Senderski, Nani, Parek, Kobosliden. Heikelis leads the race still. To the outside goes Talianos. He's got Capet on his right-hand side, but Capet goes to the inside of Senderski. Senderski runs a little bit wide, and I think Capet's going to be able to get that spot. He does, and now he's going to try and catch up to the rest of the pack in front of him. Can Talianos now make a move on Senderski? Actually, Senderski trying to make a move on Capet, and that sort of doesn't allow Talianos to do anything. So it's as they were for the front two out of race 1. Capet moves up a spot. Low down in 13th, so he's battling Ramak here, I think. Yep, he is. And Talianos still in P7. Here's Parek. He's trying to get past Nani into the final spot on the podium.
Yep, and Haikal is still holding on to that first place. Kobosnitz right on his tail, but Nani and Parek, while battling each other, they have lost ground slightly to the two leading cars. Now Parek looks like he made a mistake. He was right on the tail of Talianos. He now joins. He now is joined by Capet, Sendersky, Talianos, Schoninger, and Michel. Nice battles in the opening lap, as we usually do have when we see the reversed orders in the second races. It's much more intense in the second race, and everybody knows their position after race one, and they know what they have to do to try and keep that place in this championship. Talianos did, I think he was nudged slightly from behind as he loses the position to Schoninger. Someone ran wide here. A lot of cars moving out of shape, running down to the Eau Rouge. Schoninger now up to P7, has managed to overtake.
A little bit wide there on the exit. I don't think he had a perfect exit, but hello, battle for the lead. Kobosnitsa goes to the outside of Haikelis down into Lake Cove. Gets the spot easily, actually. Easier than I expected. Talianos back up into 7th. He's fighting hard with Schoninger here. And they're back to as they were, but really they should start working together, try and get some positions forward. They've advanced 0 since the start of the race. It's obviously only the second lap, but anyway, they should be moving forward. They were quickest in the first race. They were quickest in qualifying, so should try and start moving forward. And Possan is our first casualty. He's out of the race as they head into 5th half. Leader has already extended his gap. So really, Heike, this is the cork in the bottle here, because he's holding up this whole pack of cars and allowing everybody to get closer at the same time. They're all running in slipstream. Nobody has that real advantage, so has to wait for a mistake from the car ahead. But it's just a train of cup cars. Kobosnitsa, though, doing a good job to get forward, get into the lead of this second race of Group 1. As they go into the bus stop chicane one more time. A little bit wide from Haikelis in front, as very wide on the exit. This will be an opportunity for Nani if he can find some slipstream ahead. Nani's still behind though, but not any longer as he goes to the inside. And I think he's going to get that move done. No, they're still side by side. Talianos now down to 9th. What happened there? Unfortunately, we don't have any replays, but side by side, Nani still can't get through. And really, Aiken is here holding up the whole pack. A little bit of a cut at the top of Radion to the outside now, Nani, but I think Parek is going to come into this battle as well. He's gone to the inside, and Parek's got the overspeed because he's gone up into 2nd position now, at least on track. He's gone and done it, and Ainka has 2 positions lost right here. Still battling with Nani there. He's going to be on the inside. A little bit of contact to the outside. Nani rides the gravel and positions lost. So many positions lost. Down into 7th goes Nani, but because of, well, something happening to Talianos, he's now down to 10th position. He wasn't even able to capitalize on that. Schrödinger up into 6th and has an opportunity on Sendersky ahead, so Schrödinger doing a good job in this race so far. And Capet up to 4th. He really capitalized mostly on all of this happening. Capet trying to go side by side with Haikelis. I think he'll try to be careful here. He's obviously got a good points haul. I think there was a little bit of contact. Obviously has a good points haul out of race 1, but might actually come out as the winner of the evening, at least for Group 1 if he can get those couple of extra spots. But Parek has turned on the afterburners. He's up into 2nd and has gapped all of these guys by a huge margin. Lahouk's still down in 11th. Talianos now goes up to 9th, so trying to do his recovery drive. Still, he finished second in race 1. It's not the end of the world, but has to try and get a few spots forward just to be safe. Heading into the bubble for the semi-final, Schoninger sideways through the bus stop chicane as we reach halfway of race 2. Sendersky behind Schoninger here. Schoninger up into 5th now. He's got Capet ahead of him, so Capet needs to move forward or he'll be eaten up there. Taliano's trying to get past Michel as well. You see it on the bottom left-hand side of your screens, but can't get through, at least not yet. He'll try and do it once they power out of Radion, and he's super duper close. He's gonna go to the outside. He'll have the overspeed. He's got some draft in front of him. Can he get in that position complete? I can't see the car. Here it is. He's still to the outside, sideways, and I don't think he's, well, he's gone up into 8. He's got Nani with him, but hasn't got through Michel just yet. So 8th spot, at least get up to 7th. He'll be back to where he was at the start of the race. But the fastest pre-qualifier is really struggling in race pace, so shows that it's not always how you do pre-qualifying. It also depends a lot on how you are able to race, how good you are in side-by-side battles, how good you are in judging where to overtake, where not to overtake, and getting those opportunities, because one thing is waiting for opportunities. Sometimes you can generate those opportunities to make moves yourself. Now, Schoninger on the back of Capet for 4th spot. These two obviously in very, very good positions to qualify for the semifinals. So they're, especially Schoninger, he's got to win. So really, he has to be careful here.
Yeah, that's not the round where you have to worry about winning or finishing in top 3. You just need to get the required amount of points to just move forward into the semi-finals. The points will be reset at that point, so it doesn't matter if you finish 1st or 8th or 24th in the whole group. You just need to collect a lot of points, and for Schoninger currently it's definitely more than enough. If he finishes 5th, he just needs to stay out of trouble. He has 50 points already for the first race. He's currently 5th, so still plenty of points on the table. Haikalis is already running defensive into Eau Rouge. That's gonna slow him down. Running on down the Blanchimont Straight. Kemmel Straight. Blanchimont is on another part of the circuit, and he still goes defensive, but that's the outside line for Capet, and he manages to outbrake Haikalis into Lecomps. Schoninger gets hold on slightly. Sendersky already here to try and take that spot. Schoninger tries to go into the inside of that next corner, running down that hill. Side by side, and I think he'll get the position, so he's up to 4th, and he now he can already be as calm as needed. 4th place guarantees him well a lot of points here, and he should end up as the winner of this group. Sendersky now on the tail of Haikalis, and Taliano's already catching up with this group together with Michel.
Has been really dropping. I mean, yes, he was 8th, but he looked better in that first race, I would say. Didn't expect him to drop so quickly. But obviously big gaps now have formed because of him not driving super fast. Anyway, he's held on well, because even with the amount of time he's lost to the cars in front, not everyone's been able to overtake him easily, so that's an important thing. But this shows that sometimes even that pole position isn't enough, and he's closer and closer to a 8th spot finish. little bit of movement there on the exit of the bus stop chicane. 2 to go as they cross the line this time. And down into turn 1, La Source. Parek, though, on the back of Kobos needs a 0.3 of a second. The gap for the lead of the race. So that one's really closed up now, and it would be nice to see that one happening as well as they go up the Camel Straight. We haven't really been following this battle too much, as here we go down into Lake Como. A little bit of a defense from Kobosnice for the lead of this race. And 50 points, that's a huge haul, and that essentially a win here guarantees you a spot in the semi-final, because even if you finish third twice, you don't get as many points as one race win and a DNF in the second one. So race win here, super duper important, as Parek is trying to put pressure on Kobosnice. And Capet, he's up into third, and that would be third and third if he can hold on to that spot.
And if Parek wins this race and Schoninger finishes fourth, that would mean both drivers will collect identical amount of points, which would still place Schoninger on top of Parek, because he won the first race, which is slightly more important.
Yeah, well, the tiebreak is the pre-qualifying.
Yeah, the tiebreak is the pre-qualifying. There will not... there will be no need for a tiebreak, because a tiebreak is for the last 24th spot. All the drivers will advance through the next session. Oh, Parek!
It's nice to say if you won the quarterfinal. To the inside, tries Parek, and there's another battle, identical one, right behind them as well. As this is Kobosnice still trying to defend. Parek's going to be on the inside into the final part of the bus stop chicane. Gets pushed out a little bit wide, but enough space given. It's Robbins racing as it's a white flag in the air. One more to go. Here at Spa, down into turn 1 they go. If Parek can hold on the outside here, he is going to have the speed on the exit. He does. And here we go. Down the hill they come, side by side. Not anymore. New race leader. Parek takes the lead from Kobosnice, who's been holding on to it for a really long time. But this one's not done yet, boys, as we must go to down into La Source, where there is a chance for Kobosnice to come back at him. He goes to the outside. There's another identical battle behind. Kobosnice is still on the outside. To the inside is Parek. Don't get into too big of a fight here, boys. Parek holds on as Schoninger's got in front of Capet.
Oh, and Parek made a small mistake, allowing Kobosnice around the outside. He just needs to hold on to this line.
I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. You're not going to make a move around the outside there. And I think Parek's just about got this one. Has to just keep it clean. There's still obviously an opportunity into the bus stop chicane, but has got it done. And really, that move well, was done at La Source. So a huge move from Parek there.
And Tali, I think he'll be the leader of the first group in this round. As
Schoninger in P3, if he just holds on, and I don't think Capet's going to try anything crazy here into that final corner. And it's going to be race 1 going to Schoninger, race 2. It goes to Parek as he comes to the line, and it's Kobosnice in second, third for Schoninger, Capet in fourth, fifth for Haikadis, sixth for Tariano, seventh for Sendersky, eighth for Michal Pozniakov in ninth, Nani in 10th, Ramak in 11th, Staten in 12th, 13th for Mifsud, and Passardi in 14th. So those are your results.
Yeah, Lehu is also out of the race, so yeah, this round did not went for him as expected. He didn't finish the second race, so he did not collect the needed amount of points. I don't think he'll go through to the semi-finals. Now, on your screens, the results of the second race as we prepare ourselves for the second group. And we will try to speak to Schoninger here and maybe Parek also. Yep, so we have Schoninger with us. I hope he can hear us, as Gustas might have a couple of questions for the driver. Nope, I think no connection here, which left us both alone in this commentator's booth.
I can pretend to be him.
Okay.
Yeah, a great race. Got a good result in race 2, and thanks to my team, the sponsors, Dream to Drive. It's been a great event so far, and I'm very excited for the semifinals. I hope I qualify, but should be enough points. A very strategic race 2. We got a good result, P3, and P1 in race 1 after that good move on Talianos, which the broadcast unfortunately missed. How's that? I think that's what he would have said.
Oh yeah, that did sound perfect, and you did
Maybe
a good job.
Accent next time. We'll make it up as we go along. And Parek, he was probably not so happy about race 1, but a decent result there and an important result in race 2. Got good points, 50 points, very important in this championship because it outweighs the win so much, and a great result there. So, yep. I think that's what he would have said.
Okay, let's make a short pit stop, and we will be back with the race of the second group in a couple of moments.
To the chase, everyone give me some space. Don't fall out, we fall into place. Every step walking with grace, amen. Keeping my foot off the brakes. Impact, I'm ready to brace. We fall down and land on our face, just to get up and finally escape. Wait, treat them like worms in a lake. They bake, just give me a drum and a bass. I skate and grind till I'm numb in the face. Okay, don't fuck up my day. Don't talk about clutch, I got ice in my veins. I'm colder than Trey.
Welcome back to the racetrack. We now join the second group. The qualifying session is about to begin. 3 minutes remain on the clock. The drivers will again have a couple of laps to set their fastest lap times. 17 drivers in total in this second OVOKO group, where we see drivers, participants from all over and all around the Europe. Major Hofer currently shown as the leading car of this qualifying session, though the qualifying session is yet to begin. The drivers are on their fast laps as we look at them. We have Major Hofer, Mori, Gamberini, Richard, Rehmatash, Torelli, Piotrowski, Roga, Pejic, Perne, Murdolo, Mistry just joined the track. Meshkalis, Lomi, Pinces, Notario, Tunes, and Barbukov. So 18 drivers in total in the second group runnings. If you want to follow up with what's happening on the racetrack, you can go to the World Sim Series platform. You should be able to see the live results of what is happening on the racetrack. The provisional results of the first group has just came in. So Schoninger collects the most amount of points, 17 total. Parek is currently second with 65 points. Now Kobosnidze is third and he has 38 points. Equal amount of points with Italianos. They share third and fourth spot. Capet fifth, Senderski sixth, Haikal is seventh, and Michel is seventh. Michel has
There's two drivers in seventh or what? You said 7 for 2, so maybe Michel is 8th or 7th.
No, Michel is 8th and two drivers are sharing the 8th spot because Michel and Nani have equal amount of points. Both have 11 points. That's where the tiebreaker might be very important. The driver who will take the last spot, the 24th spot. And if there will be more drivers with equal amount of points, which is, well, quite possibly an option, the driver who have pre-qualified higher or set the faster average lap time of 2 consecutive laps will be promoted to the semi-final. So every point counts and the drivers know that, and the first results are actually in on our screens as some of the drivers have already started their second laps, others remain on their first laps. Only with a lap time of 2:19.9, which is already faster than the qualifying lap time of Italianos, which was 2:20.1 in the first group. So even though this second group is considered to be slightly slower due to how the seats have been handed out, looks like this is actually the faster group.
Actually running quicker, but obviously track conditions can sometimes change, but that is one hell of a lap time, a 19.9. And he did one lap and he said thank you very much, and that's going to be enough for me. Nobody was in the 19s in the other group, so Lomi pulled out something pretty magical here in this first in this qualifying session for Group 2. And Page sitting in second at 20.2. That would have been front row guaranteed. I don't remember what was the exact number after 2 to know if that would have been pole position for the other group. But as we saw, second place is maybe not the place you want to be for race 1 with what happened to Lehoop. As they start crossing the line, let's see what improvements we have here. Gambarini up into third, but can't get into second. 4 thousandths of a second. That's the difference here for third, but Page, and he puts it at 20.092. And not seeing any more improvements. Still a few cars to come across the line, so just waiting for those. Will everybody be in the 20s in the top 10? They are, because Mishkalis up into 9th as he gets immediately dropped back down to 10th. As Richard is the final driver to be the final driver to cross the line. He was 5th before this lap anyway. How high can he go now? I'm guessing 5th. Yes, 5th. So stays in the same spot as the qualifying session is done here for Group 2. And it's Lomi ahead of Page, Gambarini, Piotrowski, Richard, Torelli, Mori, Pinches, Perne, Rekmetaj, Meshkalis, Notario, Barbakov, Roga, Meyerhofer, Mordolo, Tunes, Mystery, and Gruning. Gruning? I was going to say a different thing, but okay. Gruning is down in 19th. So that's the end of the qualifying session. We'll have a little bit of time before we start to grid our drivers up.
Should happen shortly, just a couple of moments to go, I believe. Qualifying session is over. There we go. 55 seconds till the lights go out. Do we have another camera angle? I think we do, as we can join the track back with Lomi standing on the left side of our screens, and Pejic on the right side of our screens, the two cars sitting in the front row of the first race of the second group. They will battle for the lead into turn one, which will lead them on to the Eau Rouge corner.
Here we go. Lights coming on. It's 15 minutes for Group 2, the first race for them. And please be nice down into turn one. It's green flag once again in the OVOKO quarterfinals as we have our run down into turn one. Lomi still leads. And what's going to happen to second place this time? It's alive for now. Spinner, nope, not a full spinner. Gets back out onto the track, so it doesn't drop as much, but still very, very tight there. Out of turn one, side by side. This is for, well, it's not side by side anymore, but somewhere around the 8. That was the battle. It's the exact same format. Top 8 go through into the top 8 get reversed for race 2. Side by side, that's Gambarini trying to make a move on Lomi down into Lake Combe, and I think Gambarini's got it just about. He does, as Page trying to get past Lomi as well, but can't do it. Can he do it here into the long downhill right-hander? It's always understeering through there, and nope, can't get it done.
Yep, Gambarini took that leading spot now on the opening corners. Good move by him, and he sees battle right in his rear view mirrors.
Yep, Page has had a great exit, and he's up into a podium spot, so pole position to third in one lap without contact. That's the important thing, without contact. Still a good spot, though. Don't have to stress too much. He's got Piotrowski behind him, who's trying to make a move as well. He smells blood because of that pole. The driver who was on pole dropping so much time. He was so good on one lap. The only driver so far to get into the 19s, but now can't even get close here. Spots, and Torelli super close to Piotrowski. That's the bigger battle here, as Torelli's lost sight of Lomi just a little bit in front of him. Almost flat through Blanchimont. Track limits optional as they go into the bus stop chicane. Ooh, battle behind. Richard goes to the outside. Pinches for 6th spot. He pushes him out wide. They'll still be fine. Down into turn 1. It's Pinches to the outside, and if he holds on to that outside line, he'll have the exit onto Rouge as well. They're still side by side, so now who's going to be braver? Who's going to lift? And I think actually Richard can't really do anything here. Didn't have that good of an exit. Get that move completed.
Oh, and he actually failed slightly through Rouge and Radillon, and he'll have to go defensive because Mori is right on his tail of the car, and wow, Richard was not on time to defend the inside line, still managed to get on the brakes slightly later than Mori and kept the 7th spot. Mori still running all over the back of Richard, and that's some interesting racing. Mori trying to go offensive, but Richard is simply driving and taking his own line without any defensive driving, not losing time, and it looks like this strategy of Richard is definitely working quite well. He did not lose time while trying to defend the spot, and he managed to pull out a bigger gap against against Mori. As Perne is battling Notario in the background. Mori currently on provisional pole position. What's happening in front? Aureli on the back of Piotrowski. But I think the drivers will start to go into a rhythm with maybe less battling all over to not lose time to their main rivals. As soon as you are involved in battles on the racetrack, you lose time. That's not... Pejic is not interested in that. He's right on the tail of Gamberini. And this is the battle for the lead. The most important points. There is 20 points difference for P1 and P2. And I'm sure everyone wants that first spot, especially if you're right on the tail of the leader. You want to go out in front as soon as possible, at least put a lot of pressure on the shoulders, and it looks like Gamberini just overshot the bus stop chicane slightly, still manages to hold on to the lead as Lomi actually is getting a little bit closer to Pejic in that battle for the lead.
As here's Torelli on the back of Piotrowski. Battle for fifth spot here in race one. Actually, battle for fourth spot. The one who loses this battle will be in fifth spot. And here comes Torelli, and here comes the battle for the lead. Peggy to the outside. Gets it done. He does. So Gamberini loses a spot. Page up to P1. And he's got pressure from behind, maybe from Lomi, as Page stays in front. So a lead change once again. So this whole group of top three have led the race so far. And we're only 6 minutes into it. Let's see who else we can find to try and lead this race. Torelli's gotten in front of Piotrowski.
Oh, Gamberini made a small mistake. Now Lomi can try and get P2 here in this first race. So it looks like Gamberini just started to struggle a little bit. Maybe he's overheating the tires with those small mistakes, which is more than enough to drop the pace just a tiny bit. And you have your rivals all over your back. Look at Pejic. He's already almost 7 tenths in front. Focused on his own race at this moment. Still 8 minutes on the clock, a little bit more than half of the distance. So that means the job is not done. The drivers can gather themselves up and get back into the rhythm. We've seen positions swap in this race a little bit more times than we had in the first group. Especially in the opening race. Pejic sets the fastest lap, and look at the battles in the background. Looks like there are several cars running side by side on the exit of the bus stop chicane. That's Mori and Richard in the battle for P7. Richard currently holding on to that provisional pole position. Still a long way to go in this first race to try and hold on to it for a little bit further, and I'm pretty sure Richard, if he'll get a chance, he'll try and make a move on Mori. Perne. Oh, and there is a battle between Gamberini and Lomi.
Yep, so the pole sitter, he's going to try and get around the outside, and I think that's 2 laps in a row. The same move has worked on Gamberini. Now it's Lomi back up into second, as he tries to get back his position of leading the race after he had taken pole position. So another move at the front of the field, but not good news for Gamberini.
Well, I mean, it's not bad news, but not the worst news. You are still third. Plenty of points to advance to the next round. He'll start 6th in the second race, which is better than 8th. So that's not the worst place to be here in the quarterfinals. I think everyone is just focused to finish, well, let's say at least in the top 6 places. Of course, the first race shows the results basically based on pace of the drivers. We had the qualifying session, and that's the order the drivers have started the first race. Maybe we might have some drivers who have failed during the qualifying session, but mostly it's the order of the drivers' abilities. The second race has them reversed. That's where more troubles are awaiting for the drivers, so you want to finish as high as possible in the first race if you are a faster driver. Gambarini is, I think, more than happy to currently hold on to P3. Pejic sets another fastest lap time of this race. As soon as he got into the lead, he's not looking back. Even Lomi, who qualified first in this qualifying session, cannot answer to the pace of Pejic, at least so far. He was in a battle with Gambarini. Gambarini is now already 1 second behind. Wow, that's suddenly a huge pace difference between the leading cars. And the gaps opened up, so Piotrowski now on the tail of Torelli, and we might focus on the battles behind. Richard 1.2 seconds behind Mori, only 6/10 ahead of Perne. That's one of the bigger battles in the first race. That's gonna decide your starting position. And the finishing position is different only by 1 place. You finish 8th or 9th. There is not a huge difference, but if you finish 8th, you will start 8 places higher than the 9th placed finisher, which is definitely important.
Yeah, that's the crucial thing here. It's such a huge difference, so you really want to try and get that position. We've seen in other championships, drivers maybe being not so honest with the way they drive and taking somebody out to get into that position. That's not going to fly here. It doesn't fly in other championship, but it's not going to fly here especially. You'll get a big penalty that will really set you back here. So you have to try and not take somebody out for that position, but still a hard fight is definitely something you want to do. Here's Notario on the back of Pernes. He goes flying across the... Actually, both of them went into the gravel. Notario lost more as Tunes goes now up into 10th, and he might actually go up into... Oh.
Is that connection? No, that's some failure. Perne right into the barrier. It looked like a connection failure, but I think it was more like a hardware failure. He just went straight on into the wall. Lomi now sets a slightly faster lap time than Pejic. What's the difference between the lap times? That's not the... He was 700ths of a second faster than Pejic, so that's not a pace difference that would be enough to try and battle for the win of the first race. I think Pejic is quite safe in P1 with 2 laps to go. Richard also quite safe in P8 with that provisional pole position, but we have a very nice group of cars that are battling for P3. Gambarini kind of started struggling. He seemed so strong on the opening laps. He's now 1.7 seconds behind Lomi and has this whole group of cars behind him. Mystery out of the race already. I think 2 drivers are out of this one. That's Perne and Mistry. So Perne had some sort of an issue. As we've seen, Lomi manages to shave off a small amount of lead from Pejic. So just tries to show that he's still there, still with an intention to at least keep that pressure on the shoulders of Pejic. With a long lap that we have on Spa-Francorchamps. Oh, Gambarini runs wide, clips the gravel. Will that slow him down? That does slow him down slightly. Not too bad, not to worry about something, but with 1 lap to go, he needs to be cautious here, not to make more of mistakes like these, because on the last lap they can cost you a little bit more than it did at this point.
He's got Torelli close to it now, and Scamparini can actually losing time all the way through here.
As we start the final lap of the first race in the second OVOKO group. Still nice battles around the racetrack. Mostly calm for P8. Richard runs all by himself, and he's already might be having plans in his head about the way he'll attack the first turn in race 2. As Lomi gets closer to Pejic, still nothing too dangerous for Pejic. But the pace difference from the pole sitter kicks in on the final laps of this race. I still think that's not going to be enough for Lomi, but I love him for trying that and still keeping on that phenomenal pace he's currently at. He was 4/10 faster on the final lap, which, well, it would not be enough on this one for an overtake, but keeping that pressure up, it's all that a driver can do at this stage. Yeah, just to keep those hopes alive for taking that checkered flag in P1.
I think he's going to be able to do it, but Lomi, I think, will be kicking himself, so he's clearly quick enough. Maybe nerves on lap 1? Maybe just didn't have the confidence to do it. It's still a great result. And looking at the point total, so just as a reference, 8 in Group 1 was a tie between Michel and Nani at 11 points. By finishing second, you get 30 points. So you're in the other group, you would have been guaranteed to be in 6th spot. So it's already pretty much a guarantee if you finish on the podium that you will be going to the next round. As the race finishes, it's a win for Page ahead of Lomi and Gambarini, Torelli, Petrovski, Pinches, Mori, and Richard, Thun, and Thuns, Notario, Groning, Barbakov, Mishkanis dropped a few spots, Mordolo, Roga, Rek, Mitash, Meyerhofer, Perna, and Mystery, who has retired. And those are your results for race 1 here at Spa. Race 2 coming right up.
To the chase, everyone give me some space. Don't fall out, we fall into place. Every step walking with grace, amen. Keeping my foot off the brakes. Impact, I'm ready to brace. We fall down and land on our face, just to get up and finally escape. Wait, we treat them like worms in a lake. They bake, just give me a drum and a bass. I skate and grind till I'm numb in the face. Okay, don't fuck up my day. Don't talk about clutch, I got ice in my veins. I'm colder than Trey. cut to the chase. Everyone give me some space. Don't fall out, we fall into place. Every step walking with grace, amen. Keeping my foot off the brakes. Impact, I'm ready to brace. We fall down and land on our face. Just to get up and finally escape. We treat them like worms in a lake, they bake. Just give me a drum and a bass, I skate and grind till I'm numb in the face, okay? Don't fuck up my day, don't talk about clutch, I got ice in my veins. I'm colder than Trey,
Here we are back on the circuit as it is time for race number 2 of group number 2.
Yep, and as usually we know the second races have a little bit more of battles on the table to offer for the drivers and for the viewers, and this is not just a simple thing or a simple trophy that drivers are battling for. This is for a chance of live, a ticket to a real racetrack to race with the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup car in the famous Aurum 1006 kilometers race event. But let's go on with race 2.
And it's green once again as Richard gets a decent enough start, but he's going to be swamped down into turn 1. They're going to go 3 wide into turn 1 as Pinches tries to get through. Gone up into second, Mori losing the spot just that little bit. Lomi here in 7th, 8th for Page at the moment, side by side with Gambarini, who was on that left-hand side, as they get through the first part of the first sector, and now up the Kemmel straight. Oh no, maybe not a crash. And here we go down into the Lacombe chicane. It's Richard in the middle of this pinch point here, and the Lacombe chicane. Everybody side by side, and no clue where the drivers are. As to the outside is Piotrowski, who goes a little bit wide.
Oh man. That's really different, not only for the viewers, but for the drivers to race in this whole bunch group of cars trying to win every corner and every meter. Lomi was up to 6, now he's now down to 7 and down to 8. The first race winner down to 9, and yeah, he was wide, and he's still on the outside.
He's now down to 11th spot, 10th. But he was on that gravel on the exit of No Name, and he's still trying to hang on to 10th spot at least. I think he will. But the pole sitter is a nightmare. Page, I would say he's having a much better race.
Yeah, but still a slightly better race. So our first top 2 finishers of the first race are still 8th and 9th, and actually, well, both losing at least 1 spot where they started race 2.
The news for them is that essentially that win guarantees them a spot in the semifinal. So, for example, Page with his win, he already sits 3rd in the standings overall of today, so he's pretty much guaranteed to go through. He is, I think, guaranteed to go through.
Yep, that's Princess. Yep. Pinches.
It's no R.
Yeah. I need to better my vision.
You need new glasses.
I need new glasses, definitely.
It's a big prize pool for Dream to Drive. Maybe they can take a little bit of that prize pool.
I hope so. And I'm sorry for Pinches for this wrong pronunciation. All fault on my side, and really sorry for that. Pinches still 4th with that cut of the bus stop chicane, so he managed.
Disconnect, and that's our first loss. Actually, our second loss. We lost 1 driver. Race 1 as well. To the outside is Pinches, but he can't get through on Mori. Not yet, at least. So he lost that position in his running wide at the bus stop chicane. To the inside, tries Gambarini, but can't get through. Still, let's say 7th.
it now says he's running 6th. I think we still have some issues with the tower table. Somebody has teleported to the pit lane. I think that's why we did have this slight miscommunication on the standings. Gamberini running a little bit wide. Pejic still 7th. Lomi 8th. That's not looking too good at this moment. As you've said, they should already be quite comfortable with the advantage into the next round. That's more than needed for any driver in this round of the championship. It's the quarterfinals. 72 fastest drivers from all around Europe that have participated in the pre-qualifying event are now battling for the 24 spots in the semi-finals in the OVOKO group. And some of the drivers have already advanced. They can be Calm, Lomi and Pejic, for example. What about Torelli? He is currently first. He finished 4th, so he's looking really good at finishing this second group race in P1 overall. He now has a 1.2 seconds advantage. Something's still wrong with the timing tower. Why does Torelli being shown as behind someone? I'm not sure about that. He's definitely first, 1.5 seconds ahead of Richard. And Richard, he started first, finished 8th in the first race. He's currently looking quite strong. Mori trying to chase down on Richard. Pinches is still 4th. And the gaps are coming a little bit less dramatic. They are becoming a little bit tighter. That's what I was looking for in my head. As Gamberini right on the tail of Petrovsky and actually running around the outside into the Lecombs. And Petrovsky, well, he's not too racy here. He just focused on some valid points. Pejic right on the tail. Lomi is now behind these drivers, trying to figure something out. He could enjoy a couple of places for him at this moment. He knows that 8 is enough, but well, I think he'll be interested in some spots if they become available. Toons also getting a little bit closer to this battle, and still tight gaps on the field between the drivers driving identical cars with identical setups. There are no open setups here, so it's all up for the driver to drive as fast as they can, and that's why these battles are so complicated in identical machinery. But well, you can spot how highly leveled, how highly skilled the drivers are. Even though we are running this tight, we don't have a lot of contacts. There are contacts actually, and there were some penalties handed out to the drivers, and any results that we get on our screens are still actually provisional results, because after some penalties will be handed out, the results might change, so nobody can be calm after the races are finished. Everyone will wait for the final and official results. Torelli setting another fastest lap time. Piotrowski running a little bit wide on the exit of the bus stop chicane. Trying to cover off the inside line. Decides that it's not necessary. Still has the outpace on Pejic. And takes the ideal line.
That is for second place. It's a bit less chaotic than it was at the start. I think Page might have a chance of Piotrowski here. I'm sure he will. He's got a good run. He'll get a very good slipstream, and he'll try to go to the outside. This is a move that has worked many, many times today, and isn't going to work once again. Well, that's very fast into here. Both cars sideways. They're still side by side, and that's what you don't want to happen when you're the car trying to overtake. Still a big defense there from Piotrowski. Lomi now catching up to this group. Sideways into the braking zone. He's losing the rear end as he gets on the brakes. And now they run it downhill into Buon. And dab of the brakes down into 4th, turning in hard and back on power.
Brilliant car control by the drivers, keeping on the edge of the pace and still involved in these battles, trying to nail the corners to try and gain at least a couple of spots. And still Lomi running 8th. Remember, he kind of found pace towards the end of the first race. But in this second one, he's losing out slightly. Pejic won the first race, and he's already ahead of Lomi. But Torelli, by leading this race, I think he will have the most points after this one finishes. And he should still have a little bit less points than Schoninger had after both of the races. Schoninger finished first and third. Torelli finished 4th, and he's currently 1st, and he should have the most amount of points in the second group in my fast in-head calculations.
Torelli's on a provisional 65. Schoninger at 70 in that first race, so 65 would actually tie him with Parek in the last race. Parek, though, and actually they finished pre-qualifying. They were both 7th of their group, but Parek was just a little bit higher. Back to battles. There's a battle as Page goes to the outside of Piotrowski once again, and this time Page doesn't make the corner. So has to concede that position, but might actually have to concede one to Lomi as well. No, not yet. So right now, Risciardo has an opportunity on Mori.
Nope, he actually lost.
Yep.
Yep, he did lose the position. He was running 2nd, so actually Mori got himself in front of Richard.
Yeah. That's right. I have the standings from a lap ago on my screen, and I couldn't figure that one out. So Mori would be on 37. That easily puts him through. Richard on 26. That puts him through as well. Higher point totals here today, though. Today in this race. So higher point totals in this one so far. So actually, that's some great news for the other group. As he's still stuck down here. It's pretty incredible that this was the car in pole position. Right now, neither him nor Page can get through on Piotrowski, who's sitting in 6th and putting in some performance to hold on here. 2 to go. As they cross the line right now, Torelli still leads and leads it very comfortably, 2.8 seconds. Unless he goes off track, nothing's going to change. Oh, battle in front, Gamberini and Pinches as they run down the hill into Eau-Rouge and Radion, side by side, and I don't think either of them is going to lift. How will this one end? Still side by side, and almost ran into the back of Gamberini and pit maneuvered him off the track, but nothing happened. Is Gamberini giving back the position here?
Well, I'm not sure what happens with the track limits. Gamberini definitely was off the limits. Well, he got the Radion exit. How does that work?
To review, and it's great that it was right on the broadcast, so they won't miss that one. Oh, down falls Roning.
Yeah, someone definitely had an issue.
Yeah, Roning, as he's still falling down. He spun, or something's happened to him at the Lecomte chicane. So Gamberini up into 4th. It says in 5th. And time to update my sheet once again.
Yep, still position changes happening on the racetrack. Calculations are being made. It's really difficult to calculate those points when the drivers are battling each other and swapping places. Groening definitely running last, 3 seconds from the car in front of him. 17 drivers on the racetrack. We had 19 that started this second group. Petrovsky still holding strong on the first race winner, and even though the gaps are so tight between the three cars, positions stay intact and they don't change as we will start the final lap of the second race of the second group. In the OVOKO quarterfinals, the Dream to Drive Championship, 6th season, 9th year running. We have the drivers using a Assetto Corsa original title with the Porsche Cup cars. Same cars that the winner, the overall winner of this championship, will get the chance to get his hands on. And that is definitely worthy of a huge battle on the virtual racetracks. As Petrovsky still holds on to the 6th spot, there's no need for Pejic or Lomi to do something about it here. They have plenty of points from the first race. They will get plenty of points from the second one, and they will definitely quite easily advance to the second round. But Torelli, he finished 4th in the first race. He's now holding a healthy lead in the second one. Mori runs second as he grabbed that spot from Richard, who started first in the second race because he finished 8th in the first one. Now there are some battles happening behind. Gamberini overtook Pinches 1 lap ago. He did go off track though. I'm not sure how the referee will look into that. Pinches still holding on to P5. Petrovsky though holding on to that 6th spot on the final lap, and he finished 5th in the first race. So a lot of drivers will get a healthy amount of points. 24 drivers out of 72 will advance to the semi-finals. All points will be added up and the drivers will line up by the collected amount of points in the overall standings. That doesn't mean that a driver who finished 8th in his group will be safe with the advancement into the semi-finals.
Yep, and for Petrovsky, this will be an important position to hold on to if he does, because Pinches in front of him finished 6th in race 1. So if he does hold on, he's higher in the pre-qualifying results, so he'll have a higher spot in the overall standings, and if there's a tiebreak needed, he'll win it. Here comes Torelli, though. It's a race win in race number 2 as the battle continues on. Pinches side by side almost with Petrovsky there, but it all stays as it was. And it's Torelli, Mori, Richard, Gamberini, Pinches, Petrovsky, Page, Lomi, Barbakov, Notario, Rechmetaj, Mordolo, and then the drivers start changing in positions. And highest point total comes courtesy of Torelli.
Yep, I think it's Torelli, and we might have a chance to speak with Torelli if that goes. After planning this, Torelli is with us in the commentator's booth. We will try to speak with the driver who managed to pick the most amount of points in amongst the drivers in the second group. And
we can't hear him though, unfortunately.
Yep, if Torelli can hear us, Gustas can figure out a couple of questions for our second group winner as we look at the final results of the second race of the second group.
So obviously a very, very good second race for you, Torelli. It looked like it was probably the easiest race that anybody had in tonight so far. You went away from everybody, had to put in some consistent laps, but a really, really strong performance and coming away with the most points in your heat. So good job. Were you expecting to be this competitive in race 2? I don't think we can hear him, so I don't know if we have to make up an answer once again.
I think so. I think so. You are very good with this.
Yep. Okay. Well, it was a great second race. I didn't expect to be this competitive, but my rivals were getting into a lot of trouble. And, well, I had a great race, kept it consistent, and got the win. So most points and good job. So, yep, that's my made-up interview. And and thank you to Dream to Drive, World Sim Series, my friends, my family, my sponsors, all of my partners, and my crew, my team, who got me and prepared me a great car for race number 2.
Yep, let's make a short, brief break, and we will be back with the OVOKO third group of this evening in 2 races and qualifying on the table. So hold on, and we'll speak to you in a brief moment of time.
To the chase, everyone give me some space. Don't fall out, we fall into place. Every step walking with grace, amen. Keeping my foot off the brakes. Impact, I'm ready to brace. We fall down and land on our face, just to get up and finally escape. We treat them like worms in a lake, they bake. Just give me a drum and a bass, I skate and grind till I'm numb in the face. Okay, don't fuck up my day. Don't talk about clutch, I got ice in my veins. I'm colder than Trey. cut to the chase. Everyone give me some space. Don't fall out, we fall into place. Every step walking with grace, amen. Keeping my foot off the brakes. Impact, I'm ready to brace. We fall down and land on our face, just to get up and finally escape. We treat them like worms in a lake, they bake. Just give me a drum and a bass. I skate and grind till I'm numb in the face, okay? Don't fuck up my day. Don't talk about clutch, I got ice in my veins. I'm colder than Trey.
And welcome back. It's the final group, group number 3. Track at the moment, as group 2 is being reviewed by the stewards. Obviously, there's a long time before we have a final result from that group. But this is our final group. Now, who do we have in this one? And who was actually quickest in pre-qualifying? So Simone Seminara, he was the leader of the group in the pre-qualifying sessions, ahead of Pugliati, who's there, Sweet Derek, who's there, Kniva, who's there, Zaikin, who's there, Wills is there as well. So a lot of drivers in here. Actually, is this our biggest? No, it's not our biggest quarterfinal. It's equal to the second group, 18 cars out on track.
Second actually had 19 drivers, but one kind of didn't make it very far. And Kniva sets the provisional pole position, which is 5/10 slower than the pole position from Group 2. So pace still needs to be gathered up. First lap was not ideal by the looks of it for the drivers. And, well, this is a little bit closer to the reality that you have said, that the first group should have been theoretically the fastest group. We had the first, fourth, seventh, and so on drivers from the pre-qualifying session. That's how they were handed out into the group. So every third driver went into the every third group. And currently, Kniva set a lap time, which, in comparison to the qualifying lap time of the second group, is about it's not about a half a second, it's half a second slower at this moment. Oh, was that Swidrek? No, it was Pugliatti. That was Pugliatti who had a problem. Oh, Pugliatti, the driver from the Formula Championship. Remember how fast they were when joining it.
Second in the group here he was, so 6th in pre-qualifying. That's a big drop. This is the driver who was 3rd in pre-qualifying overall. He's actually running a bit further down in the pack in terms of where he is out on the circuit, his position on the circuit. So clearly picking out a different strategy for himself. And Seminara running in 2nd spot right now. Obviously lap times will improve, as they normally do. But again, sessions are sometimes quicker, sometimes slower, as I think Kniva's coming up to the line now. So he should be the first car that crosses the line. And is there an improvement? No improvement. Now, Whitehead goes to the top, 20.251. That's more like the pace we saw before. Everybody's now going up the field. Pugliatti down at 10th. He's gonna be kicking himself for not improving on this one. Here comes through everybody. And a couple more cars to go. Seminara, he does improve up into 2nd spot and just beats out Kniva. So fast, 3rd fastest overall in pre-qualifying, 2nd fastest in this qualifying session, as Luke Whitehead takes pole position for this one. And that was a quick qualifying session. So Whitehead ahead of Seminara, ahead of Kniva, Lefrancois, ahead of Baldi, Swiderek, Simic, Letelier, Wills, Pugliatti, Kravchuk, Gavars, Mikulski, Pilate, Mazurier, sorry. Zeiken down in 16th.
Oh,
Find that second lap. Borodine 17th, and Profilis in 18th spot. That's your grid. And again, same thing. 2 races. With the top 8 reversed. And then we will know who's qualified.
well, I mean, I think we'll still have 24 hours for the reviews, for the protests coming from the drivers.
We'll have a pretty good idea. I mean,
we'll
at least know the main challengers. Obviously, things can change, but we'll see how everybody lines up in the end.
Yeah, definitely. Most likely the drivers, the leading cars, they will have no issues whatsoever to advance to the semi-finals. This is what this current round is about. 24 out of 72 drivers will see the light of the semi-finals in the OVOKO part of the championship. We'll have the Topo Centras part running tomorrow. There will be 4 groups, each having 8 drivers that will participate in a live event, seeing each other. If they have contacts, they will have the ability to figure it out after the race, eye to eye, in an eye to eye mode, as we get ourselves running.
WWE style.
Yeah.
Here we go. It's race number 1 for group number 3, and these guys can't fight after the race, so they'll fight it out on the track. Here we go, down into turn 1, and Whitehead continues to lead. He's had a great start. A little bit sideways from P2. Again, P2 is that horrible spot, it feels like, every time somebody starts P2. Loses positions. I think there was only one start where P2 didn't lose positions. Simic to the inside through Eau Rouge, but can't get past as they run up the hill. Oh no, this is going to be a problem. Sviteric on the grass. He's trying to make that move over Leterrier. And Svideric's still there. Oh, somebody very, very wide on the grass. So a lot more grass cutting than we've seen in all the other races combined, as everybody is now side by side, as it was last time through the Lecombe chicane. And I'm not even going to try and figure out who is where, as it's Wills in 7th spot, ahead of Svideric, 8th, 9th for Pugliatti, Mikulski in 10th, as everybody now goes into position-ish.
Wow.
Into position. So a lot of stuff happening, but Whitehead continues to lead, and contrary to what happened last time out, where the leader lost out on the first lap, Whitehead hasn't. He's still got Seminara super duper close behind him, but not close enough yet to make an overtake. So first driver to hold on to the lead.
Drivers starting to calm down a little bit. You don't want to make huge mistakes on the opening lap. That was really intense, and it was very close racing on the opening corners. We still have a group of cars that is right behind each other, and tiniest mistake can change the outcome of this current running order. Sviderek trying to have a run on Vils, and out of these camera shapes and camera angles, it's really difficult to differentiate the drivers. Someone's running wide.
Very wide.
Wills, it was Wills, yep, and he lost plenty of spaces. Whoa, was that Sviderek who lost the back end of his car? Yep, Wills is now 17th. Pugliatti up to 8th, and he is being forced wide on the exit of the bus stop chicane, so the guys are using a little bit more of the tarmac that is available for the racing line, and they have to use the off tracks as the cars are running so tightly close to each other. Pugliatti actually setting the fastest opening lap of the drivers, and he is still in a battle. He's now in front of Mikulski and quite far behind of Sviderek. So a lot of time is being lost as the drivers battle each other so tightly and closely together.
Yep, that's how it goes most of the time. When you're so close and you're always trying to fight, you're always trying to get through. Pugliatti, obviously, he had a horrible qualifying session. He is second in this group in terms of pre-qualifying pace, so he's having to recover spots. Crucially, he's up to 8th. That's the big one. He's up into 8th spot. Zaikin is moving up positions as well. So, but pretty damaged car for Pugliatti. He's got scrapes on the left and the right-hand side.
Oh, Zaikin is up to 12th already, and he was running 17th or 18th, I believe, on the opening lap. So he managed to gather up some important places, but that's not enough, and we've seen that it's really difficult to make a move here. The guys, the drivers are very similarly paced, and you have to use all your knowledge and all your skills to make that move. That is needed. So Zaikin currently advancing quite successfully, but how it's gonna go further up from this point, it's definitely gonna be a little bit harder for him. Zaikin is known as a very fast driver on the World SimCVS platform, gaining wins and trophies on a lot of occasions, so we are expecting him to move up a little bit further, but that's going to be a very difficult task for him to move at least into P8, where another very fast driver from Italy is currently holding the position. That's Poliati. Zaikin should make a move on Gavars by the looks of it. Has a good run out of the bus stop chicane into turn 1. He's a little bit too far behind to make that move, and keeps running behind Gavars for this moment being. Svidrek setting the fastest lap time, sitting 7th so far. And Baldi in the battle with Letelier. The lead group running on a very similar pace, for leaders having small gaps, as Baldi is forced to try and take the outside line into the comms, which usually works, not always, but it did work out this time. So Baldi overtook Letelier. Gavras up into P10s. We've lost someone out of the top 10. Someone's losing places. Zaikin up to P11. Who did we lost here? Kravchuk. I think Kravchuk. Yep, Kravchuk down into P18. He was running 10th, so some issues for the driver from Ukraine. He's now running last in this third group of the OVOKO quarterfinals. Interesting line by Baldi.
What was letting somebody through?
Yeah, so
so Baldi is in 5th. Whitehead still leads, and he's put the gap up to almost a second. So
yep.
will he be our first pole to win? Looking likely at the moment. Kniva sits there in a good position as well, sitting 3rd.
Yeah, I think he's Lafranco. Oh, I'm sorry for my pronunciation. Further pronunciation, Lafrancois. You're good with the names, Gustas. You can.
I'm guessing it's Lefrancois.
Lefrancois.
Maybe he might tell me that I'm a complete idiot and I don't know what I'm saying. So, but that's my best guess. It is a guess a lot of the time, and Whitehead, another fastest lap of the race, so he's doing a very, very good job. This group of 4 is definitely the quick one here. They've been able to really gain a big, big margin out in front. Derek in P7. And the track limit's optional here anymore, and he would have been in France with that kind of corner cut here, as he tries to make a move on Letelier, but can't get through, and they've got Pugliatti catching up to them as well. Pugliatti, well, recovering from a bad qualifying, but he's running in a great 8th position. That's pole position for race 2.
But it looks like he's faster than these drivers ahead of him. Remember, he didn't have a great qualifying session. He made a mistake on his second flying lap, and he might have pace. We remember how fast Pugliatti can be on occasions. He just made a small mistake, which set him a little bit further back from this battle, but he does have the pace. If he manages to stay calm enough, he could get a little bit closer to that battle, and you want all the points that you can collect. I'm pretty sure, well, I don't know what's in the heads of the drivers, whether they, when they're running 8th, do they want to stay 8th, or they want to get those spots in every race? I mean, we didn't have great starts from P2 also, so if the drivers have watched the races before, do they want to finish 7th in the first race to start 2nd and risk it all into turn 1, or rather stay 8th and start 1st?
I mean, if you can start first, it's definitely better. I've seen very, very bad starts from second position. So I think that's not a great place to be. It's not a big points difference as well. It's only 1 point. So it's a calculated risk, I'll call it.
What would you do?
I wouldn't mind sitting in 8th.
Okay.
If I wouldn't care, because the upside is so much bigger in those higher positions. It's just a point. And I've seen, if I'm in Group 3, I've watched Groups 1 and 2. I've seen that starting from 2nd has ended up horribly for 3 of the 4, and it's ended well for 1 of the 4. So I'll stay in pole position.
I mean, that's a really great point. There's 1 point difference between P7 and P8, but then there's 20 points difference between P1 and P2. As Svedrek moves up into P6 with a very nice move into the Lecombe corner, and Pugliatti is now right on the tail of Letelier, both drivers sharing the skins.
Very, very good position. 6th is a very, very good spot, because you're in 3rd. If you're in 3rd, you've got an opportunity to go up into 2nd at turn 1, because the driver in 2nd, he's in trouble. And then you've got a very, very good opportunity into Lecombe. So I'd say 3rd is my golden ticket to start at. Because we've seen so many of them get passed into Lecombe, round the outside even, just because of the slipstream. So yeah, maybe I'd go for 3rd instead of 1st. So 6th. I want to finish 6th here. If I can't finish on the podium, I'll try and finish 6th somehow.
Great insights from Gustas as Pugliatti runs wide again. So Pugliatti is, well, we know him as a very fast driver, but we definitely see quite a lot of mistakes coming out by him on the racetrack.
Well, he's making sure he's going to finish 8th if he keeps making those mistakes. So it's not the end of the world. He's got a big gap behind him, 2.2 seconds. And now they'll cross the line for 2 to go. It should be all right. And, actually, Derek has caught up to Baldy in front for P5. And P5 is the spot that gives you 2 points extra. You'd be coming out with 10 points out of this one, so another P5 would put you in the ballpark of the semi-final. So this is an important spot here, way more important than 8th for 7th. Now you've got 2 points, so double the importance. Here they come into Lecombe. Can't do... Well, actually, wait, he's gone through?
Yep.
He's gone around him. He made the move before the braking zone. He was already completely in front.
Oh, yeah, the identical liveries of the cars makes it hard to...
So, and the camera is so far away. I was like, really? He didn't even try making a move, but he was in front already.
And these two were also battling in the background. Letelier was running a defensive line into Lecombes. Pugliatti was very offensive, but did not manage to make that move stick. He's still 8th though, and in a very good spot as we are running the penultimate lap of race 1 in the Group 3 race. Maybe Pugliatti is just making those small mistakes on purpose.
Well, I don't think I have a better idea. Just lift on the straights. Making a mistake on purpose, you risk making a very big mistake. But let's see what Pugliatti does here. Sometimes, when sitting behind, you start forgetting your race plan.
Ooh, contact between Pugliatti and Letelier. Well, Pugliatti tried to swap that line on the exit. I'm not sure a driver would like to do that after a contact with the rear end of your rival. He's trying on the outside now. This is a good chance for a move, but you need to try to not be too close to the back end of your rival as you approach a Rouge corner, because then you'll have to lift slightly and lose the momentum on the Camel Straight, running aggressively over the curbs, still very close to the back end of Letelier, and there's gonna be a high chance for Pugliatti to take that unwanted 7th spot and 2nd spot on the grid for the second race. Letelier just over aggressive. Almost losing the back end while swapping the lines, coming from the inside right out to the outside and then back into the inside of the corner. Almost cost the position for Letelier, and I don't know, would you be so overly aggressive on the offensive? It's a topic of a pole position place. Yeah, I don't know, you can calm down a bit and just I don't know, maybe give that spot to the driver behind you, just relax a little bit and then start the second race from pole position. Why not?
Yeah, I would say behind. So many cars I've seen starting badly from P2. I would be like, yeah, you can have the spot. That's fine. I'd actively try to finish 8th.
Yep, you need to think strategically also, and I think you need to do the homework before the race even starts. Oh, Pugliatti just made that another small mistake.
Oh,
and I think,
unfortunate.
Oh yeah, how unfortunate.
But Luke Whitehead, well, he'll take the win, and 2.5 in front. Oh, here's Kniva. Hello, what happened here? Because this gap wasn't that close. Left Francois almost missed the bus stop chicane, but Whitehead takes the win and a fastest lap of the race at the end, as he's ahead of Sevinara, Kniva, Left Francois, Sweet Derek, Baldi, Leterrier, Pugliatti, Zaikin, Mikulski, your top 10.
I can finish 9th. Let's look at the results on the live page. I'm not sure if I can. No, I can finish 10.
Yep,
no, 9th. Yep.
9th. Yep, he did finish 9th ahead of Mikulski. Then it's Kavar Simic, Borodai Mazurier, Pilate, Kravchuk, Profilis, and Wills down in 18th. So that's race 1. And, well, let's get ready. It's almost time for race 2, and actually our final race of the evening. Time does go by quickly when you're having fun with good friends.
To the chase, everyone give me some space. Don't fall out, we fall into place. Every step walking with grace, amen. Keeping my foot off the brakes. Impact, I'm ready to brace. We fall down and land on our face, just to get up and finally escape. Wait, treat them like worms in a lake, they bake. Just give me a drum and a bass, I skate and grind till I'm numb in the face. Okay, don't fuck up my day. Don't talk about clutch, I got ice in my veins. I'm colder than Trey. Everyone give me some space. Don't fall out, we fall into place. Every step walking with grace, amen. Keeping my foot off the brakes. Impact, I'm ready to brace. We fall down and land on our face. Just to get up and finally escape. Wait, treat them like worms in a lake. They bait, just give me a drum and a bass. I skate and grind till I'm numb in the face, okay? Don't fuck up my day. Don't talk about clutch, I got ice in my veins. I'm colder than Trey.
Welcome back to Spa. It's our final race of the afternoon. Obviously, we'll have more racing action from Spa tomorrow. It's the Topo Centres quarterfinals. Just an update right now in terms of points. 16th spot, and that's where the cutoff would be from the first two groups, if we were to look at it like that. 11 points. And it's a tie in terms of points. We'll see how it ends up right after this one. Here we go. It's the final race, race 2 of quarterfinal group 3. And we're green for the final time this afternoon down into turn 1. Pugliatti gets a great start in P1. And what's going to happen to P2? I think P2 is going to be pushed off the track. Told you, it's better to start first. Look at P2 is now down to third, fourth even.
Fifth.
Fifth.
Yep. Well, you clip the gravel and you don't have the speed running down the straight and you lose places straight on. And P2 down into P5, and Seminara actually can figure out something as he's being attacked by Luke Whitehead. Around the outside, I believe. Yep, Whitehead is taking the outside line, the winner of the first race. And Whitehead had a very nice start so far. From P8 up to P7, really tight into the Lecomptes. Seminara still holding on to that inside line. This is a tight battle and an intense situation. Would you be... I don't know, it looks so difficult to be in the seat of the driver, running so close with the drivers, but Luke Whitehead was able to avoid plenty of contacts and managed to go cleanly through the back.
Oh no, it's getting worse for Kniva.
Oh yeah, he has been beat up. He has been beat up badly, and that's it, basically.
I think he had contact with Zeiken through the left at no name. So Kniva comes in. So he finished
third.
Third. So 20 points. He'll be fine. Looking at how the results are looking now, I think he'll be fine to make it to the semi-final. A point or two extra wouldn't hurt, but I don't think he's getting up. Maybe he can get up that high, but with Whitehead, I think he's pushing for a win of the of the quarterfinal in general here on in the OVOKO.
He needs to finish at least second to get the most amount of points of this evening out of the 3 groups. That's not how you win. That's actually what happened here. Was there a contact? That's Whitehead actually who was shunned off the racetrack.
I don't really get what happened. I just saw the car flying off the track like crazy, so he's not gonna win.
Game over.
But anyway, he's through to the semi-final. There's no question about that. So he can be happy about that. He's fine. Strange thing. I'm trying to understand what happened, but maybe contact, maybe some ghost contact. We saw a couple of those today, but here we go, back to battles. Seminara going to the inside for Lecomte, but he's gone past as well. He has, because, well, it's still a lot of cars with the exact same livery, and I keep getting them confused. So Seminara into 4th, and might be on course if he could get up to P1, but Pugliatti is pulling unintended out a gap out at the front of the field in P1. Baldi running in 5th, and Letellier, who started 2nd, down in 7th, so back down to 7th. So, yeah, finishing 8th is better than finishing 7th in race 1. So here's Seminara. He's trying to catch up. He's doing a good job because he's running much quicker here. And he's getting away from those behind. Zaikin is moving up well, so his horrible qualifying. Oh, actually, Seminara's made a mistake. He's run wide. Zaikin says, thank you very much. Up into P5 now. And he might have a chance at P4 here. Here he comes into the bus stop chicane. He's going to go to the inside. Was there a little bit of contact there? Maybe. But he's still on the outside, and he might have the speed if he can get out of the turn the fastest. Letelier trying to get past Seminara as well. And Zaikin up into P4. So he started 9th, remember? It wasn't like he started at the front. He started 9th after a good recovery drive from a very, very bad qualifying. His semi-final chances aren't gone here yet. He needs to find 2.5 seconds, but anything's possible, as he's already on a good points haul here, 15 to his count at the moment.
Regarding Zaikin, actually, I'm not sure what happened to Kniva, but there are high chances that there was a contact between Zaikin and Kniva, so he might be facing a penalty. He needs a very good result. He needs to perform on the racetrack. That's what he's currently doing. Look at the cars, at the group of cars that he's currently holding on. He managed to pass them all. Now he runs wide into Rivage corner. That's not the ideal line to take it. He still manages to stay in front as the 3 current leaders are pulling away from this group of cars that is battling each other. We've lost Whitehead, we've lost Kniva, 2 fastest drivers from race 1, giving a little bit of better chances for the remaining cars. Remember, it's very important to pick a high amount of points in total, so this shuffle up in the running order of the cars might actually give this group higher chances to go further into the semi-finals. I mean, every car here gets
really, a lot of cars will get a lot of points that didn't happen in the first 2 groups. So this might, you're making a very good point. This might be a very, very good afternoon for those in Group 3, because 2 of the leaders have been taken out, and Seminara only of that podium spot.
Oh! Brake issue?
Oh, sure, maybe. On the spot, really? It's a brake point issue or a left foot issue. I don't think that's a real brake failure.
Yeah, still something to do with the brake pedal.
Maybe the one controlling the brake pedal could be the bigger issue when you have issues on the sim. But got through the corner, and that's the important thing. Nothing happened. Pugliatti still leads though, and by a good margin. Getting info that Zaikin was involved in quite a few incidents, so this 4th spot that he's in right now might not be so clean, as he's under pressure now from Seminara, who goes to the outside, and that's another battle and another battle. And oh, Seminara in contact with Zaikin as well, so Zaikin been having some little ding-dong. Oh, Gavars, is it Gavars?
Yep, it is.
Gavars, as he rejoins behind Whitehead, who's up to 11th.
Yeah, he is. He's just flying.
He was flying at the bus stop, and now he's going back up the field.
So the fly
that hasn't happened to Kniva, who's down in 20th.
18th. But he's still last. So Whitehead rejoined the racetrack in front of Kniva. He was a couple of seconds in front of Kniva when he rejoined the racetrack. He's now 11th, and the contact happened between Whitehead and Zaikin actually, and Zaikin is the one to blame. It looks like Zaikin will receive a huge time penalty, which is about 15 seconds. I'm not sure if that's provisional or already black ink on white paper, but that's not looking good for Zaikin, even though he's currently 4th. He's facing a real huge penalty here, and 15 seconds means that his second race will get wasted, and there's gonna be no valid good points for Zaikin. And as we've said before, all the results that we see are still provisional. We don't see a lot of things happening in the background. We sometimes might miss some important accidents by the drivers because they run in such close groups, and it's really dangerous for them, but they need to do close racing, but sometimes that close racing might get you in trouble. Whitehead, the fastest lap time of the race so far, 0.9 of a second behind Wills, and look at the cars in front. There is still a huge group of cars in front of Whitehead. 5 minutes to go. He'll definitely not be the overall winner of the OVOKO quarterfinals. He's definitely through into the semi-finals, and I think Whitehead, well, what we've seen so far in the 3 groups, by the looks of it, Whitehead might be well, one of the favorites to advance into the finals of this championship.
Yep, absolutely. He's looked very good so far, that's for sure. I'm just trying to calculate what we've got in terms of points.
Oh yeah, this is a job that needs to be done live, with these cars shuffling all around the racetrack, swapping places. It's not the easiest task to do. Still manageable. Currently we have Pugliatti in front, and he finished 8th, so that's not going to be the highest amount of points this afternoon from the 3 groups. Whitehead also will not get the biggest amount of points in the 3 groups, but the shuffle of the order between the 2 races means that we might see higher chances for the drivers out of this group to advance into the semi-finals. Whitehead, by the way, right on the tail of Profilis, and I think we are about to see a move here made on the racetrack. Ooh, back on the Blanchimont straight before the bus stop chicane. Whitehead is already in front of Profilis, so Pugliatti setting the fastest lap time. That's what we were talking about. The driver from Italy, as soon as he doesn't have pressure on his shoulders, he's phenomenally fast, and the lap time he set, what was his qualifying lap time? So qualifying lap time by Pugliatti was 2 minutes 20 and 7/10 of a second. He just pulled out a 2 minutes 20.0, right up there with the pace of the fastest drivers of this evening. So I think he's pretty safe with the win of the second race, unless he doesn't have pressures. Friedrich is more than 2 seconds behind Lefrancois, is 1 second further behind. Seminara and Letelier are battling for P5 in the second race. Letelier on the outside of Seminara. Close racing, contacts happening on the racetrack. Letelier might make that move around the outside. I think he's done. I think the job is done, and Letelier up to P5. Boldy is right in that mix. Mikulski is also right on the tail of Boldy. So this is a nice group of cars in the battle, and that's good news for Whitehead because he's only 8/10 behind Wills as we approach the final lap of the final race of this evening. So far, Boldy making a small mistake. Mikulski should be right around his tail. Look at the gap that opened up between Seminara and Boldy, and the driver behind Boldy have no place to go, and he had to lift also. This is gonna be a very exciting finish for this race. I'm pretty sure about it. With Whitehead running in 10th, gaining on the drivers in front that are battling hardly between each other. I wonder what Whitehead will be able to pull out of his pocket here in this battle. 5 tenths now behind Wills as these drivers continue to battle. Wills right on the tail of Mikulski. Pugliatti made a small mistake on this lap because the gap went down to 1.8 seconds. It's now 1.6 seconds. The drivers are around the bus stop chicane for the penultimate time of this evening. Wills around the outside. Whitehead laid on the brakes. Right on the tail of Wills exiting the bus stop chicane, and he'll have one lap to improve at least one place. He does have the pace. Does he have the experience of choosing the correct lines to make those moves? Look at the line. That's surely a line that is meant for a good exit of first corner. Was not so brilliant in comparison to Wills and Mikulski, and it's gonna be a very hard job for Whitehead to advance.
You have to remember also that he doesn't need to do anything here.
Yep, he doesn't.
And he doesn't need to get a penalty. So it just has to get to the finish clean. He can score 0 points if he wants to in this one. And I'm sure he doesn't want to ruin anyone else's race, as here's Letelier, who's under pressure from Seminara through T5, I think, is the Lacombe chicane. So he's still super under pressure from Seminara, and for Letelier, this is a pretty important spot because he's close to that bubble of making it in or not making it in. I'll try to calculate everything as soon as we reach the checkered flag, and I'll have a provisional standing for you then. But these two are battling it out. Pretty likely that this is a battle for 4th position instead of 5th as it is right now, since we do expect Zaikin to be under review. And Pugliatti is coming up to almost the line. It will be Pugliatti unless something crazy happens to win, actually, this evening. And oh, here's Whitehead. He goes to the inside, up into P9 now. And another spot gained by him ahead of Wills. And he'll be just 1 point behind Pugliatti, who's going to come out the final turn. He finished 8th. Now he finishes 1st. Pugliatti books his ticket to the semi-final. Then it's Sviderek, Lefrancois, Zaikin, Letelier, Seminara, Baldi, Mikulski, Whitehead, Wills. And then I have to refer back to the results. Then it's Profidis, Gabars, Borodai, Simic, Pilate, Kravchuk, Kniva, and Mazurier down in 18th. So let me get through the calculations real quick.
Yeah, Kniva 0 points for race 2. Did he finish 15th? I believe he finished 15th, which gives a driver 0 points for that position. He did, though, gather plenty of points in race 1 to be safe with the travel to the semi-finals. I believe so. As we are looking at the overall results of the second race, Kniva finished 16th, actually. So it was Pugliatti, Sviderek, Lefrancois, Zaikin, Letelier, Seminara, Baldi, Mikulski, Whitehead, Wills, Profilis, Gavaras, Borodai, Simic, Pilate, Kniva, Kravchuk, and Mazurier.
I've got the results. So, last driver in is Eduardo Baldi, who gets 15 points out of the evening, and he is 24th. Now, there is obviously a question of Zaikin and whether or not he's getting a penalty for his actions throughout this race. because he's on 20 points. He's 18th overall at the moment. If he does get a penalty, the next car to be in would be Angelo Michel, who's tied with Chrissy Nani, but Angelo Michel has a better pre-qualifying position. So those are the two just outside the bubble. And still other penalties could come into effect here, so it's not all over. But the drivers through provisionally at the moment are Schrodinger, Parek, Torelli, Page, Pugliatti, Whitehead, Sweet Derek. Hold on. I can't see this name for some reason. Talianos, Kobosnidze, Seminara, De Mori. Lomi, Capet, Gamberini, Lefrancois, Richard, Kniva, Zaikin, Piotrowski, Pinches, Sendersky, Letelier, Haikelis, and Baldi. Down in 24th spot overall. So those are the results that we currently see. But again, still question marks on penalties. And we'll know the full results in 24 hours. I think that's the period when they can protest. Tomorrow, the 17th of May, it's 2 o'clock Lithuanian time for the start of the quarterfinal. That's 11 GMT. So join us then. We'll be live on World Sim Series once again. Well, thank you for tuning in. Have a good night, and see you all tomorrow.
To the chase, everyone give me some space. Don't fall out, we fall into place. Every step walking with grace, amen. Keeping my foot off the brakes. Impact, I'm ready to brace. We fall down and land on our face, just to get up and finally escape. Wait, treat them like worms in a lake. They bake, just give me a drum and a bass. I skate and grind till I'm numb in the face. Okay, don't fuck up my day. Don't talk about clutch, I got ice in my veins. I'm colder than Trey.